Hey everyone, my name is Bola Shokumbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance, and welcome to Clever Girl Finance TV. So in this video, I'm going to be talking with you guys about the Clever Girl Finance Roadmap, which is a step-by-step guide to help you create your own financial plan to get out of debt, save money, and build real wealth. And this is something I get asked about all the time. Bola, where do I start when it comes to improving my finances, paying off debt? Should I save and pay debt at the same time? When do I start investing? And so this roadmap is made up of 6 components to help you create that plan as you work on your finances. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to be sharing with you how you can actually get your hands on a copy of this roadmap for free that you can print out or save as a PDF on your computer and use as your own guide as you work on improving your finances. So let's get into it. So the Clever Girl Finance Roadmap is something I put together to help people get their finances in order and actually create a strategic and actionable plan. And it's actually based on the Clever Girl Finance book, which goes into detail on every single one of these 6 components. And in this video, I'm going to break them down for you. So the first component is basically to adjust your mindset. You're going to have to get your head in the game when it comes to improving your finances. And that means, number 1, letting go of your money mistakes. We've all made money mistakes. I've made mistakes. The most successful people in the world have made mistakes. And so it's all about taking the lessons, applying them to your next steps, and letting go of the mistakes. And then you also want to start to affirm yourself to wealthy. Tell yourself what you want to become. Give yourself positive talk. Talk to yourself positively so that you can get yourself in that space where you feel motivated and inspired to actually take the steps you're going to need to take to improve your finances. And then as part of this adjust your mindset component, you're also going to need to take a good hard look at your circle of influence. Who are the people and things in your space that are impacting decisions that you make day to day? Are there people that you talk to about money that are just not excited for you, tell you you're always going to be in debt? Or are there people in your life that really motivate and empower you to take that next step? Those are the people that you're going to want to spend more time with, right? And so you really need to take a good hard look at your circle of influence and then just drop the people who are not going to help you as you work on this next phase to improving your finances. So the second part of our roadmap is to get organized. And this means getting out all your financial records, knowing where your bank accounts are, how much debt you owe, what assets you have, and really laying it all out so you have the big picture of your finances. You also want to determine a why. Why do you want to improve your finances? Why do you want to get out of debt? Why do you want to save money? Why do you want to build wealth? You want to determine this why, write it down where you can see it every day and reference it often, because your why is what's going to keep you going when things get really difficult and really hard, because they will. That's just life. And so you need to have this why, this thing that compels you to want to succeed. You're also going to need to set really clear financial goals. You want your goals to be realistic and measurable, but still challenging. And so when you set your goals, think about the things that you really, really want to achieve, and then write that down, and then think about how you can break that goal down into smaller chunks. What are the things that you can be doing every year, every quarter, every month, every week, every day to help you as you work towards attaining those financial goals? So once you've set your goals, it's time to address your bad money habits. So do you have any money habits that you know are not good for you improving your finances, that are holding you back, that you want to change? It's time to take a hard look at those habits and then figure out what you can do to counter them. So for every habit that you list out, grab a piece of paper, write down those habits, right? Every habit you want to break, and then write down a counter action right next to it of the things that you can be doing to break these habits, and try to take action every single day to work on breaking each one of these habits. And the final part of getting organized is that you want to track your spending. So you need to know where your money is going so you understand what's happening, right? And so that you can make a plan to improve your finances. Component number 3 is to budget and save. And this starts by finding a budgeting style that works for you. So people tell me all the time, Bola, I'm not good with budgeting. It's too hard. I can never get through the month with my budget intact. But it might be because you haven't found a style that actually works for you. So what you can do is test out different budgeting methods. And I'll put a link below to a blog post I wrote on the different budgeting styles, and test one out every single month. Start with an app, a spreadsheet, the different styles until you find one that you like. The best budgeting method is the one that works for you and that you'll be compelled to use often. That's what's most important when it comes to budgeting. As part of the budgeting and saving component, you also want to make sure that you have an emergency fund in place because life happens. Unexpected things occur. And the last thing you want to do is have to leverage credit, and set yourself back with your finances when that emergency does happen. So you want to create a plan to start saving for emergencies, and you want to build that savings into your budget. So every time you get paid or you bring money in, a part of that money should go towards your emergency savings until you're able to max that out, right? And so ideally you want to have about 3 to 6 months of your core living expenses. And this is your housing, your transportation, and your food. If you are single, then 6 months is ideal. And if you can get it to 12 months, that would be great. If you are in a relationship or partnership, then 3 months is a great place to start, because the chances that you will both be out of work for the same amount of time are much lower. However, the more money you can put aside for emergencies, the better. And don't get scared when I say emergencies, because people typically think that they need to have a ton of money saved, or they feel like if they plan for the emergency is when it'll actually happen, but that's not the case. It's all about just having a backup, because like I said, life happens. And it's all about building the emergency fund into your budget, building that savings for your emergencies into your budget, so that every time you get paid, you put a little bit of money towards that fund, and over time it grows and you're able to build out that fund. And keep in mind, like I said as well, it is specific to your housing needs, your transportation, and your food. It's not for getting your nails done or going out with your girlfriends or on like fancy vacations. This is for real, true life emergencies. And then as part of this component, you also want to start saving for your goals. So those goals that you set, you also want to assign a dollar amount to them, right? It could be retirement, saving for your kids' college, saving for your house down payment or for a car, or even for a wedding or for a vacation. Set a dollar amount to it, build that savings into your monthly budget, and then start saving for each one of those goals. Component number 4 is create a plan to destroy your debt. This is a super key component, because once you're able to get rid of debt in your life, then you free up all this other income to do other things, like put it towards your goals and basically live your best life. And so right now, if you have high interest debt, student loans, and things like that, they're essentially in the way of you being able to live life on your own terms. And so you want to create a plan, have a strategy in place as to how you're going to eliminate your debt. And I'll put a link below as well to a blog post I wrote on key steps to creating your debt repayment strategy, but it's all about creating the plan. Once you create that plan, it doesn't stop there. You have to work the plan. You're going to have to put it into effect. Build those debt repayments into your budget. Find ways to get creative to earn additional money that you can put towards your debt and accelerate your debt repayment rate. And it's also important to understand how your debt is structured. How much interest are you paying? This way you understand how to prioritize your debt and have the best plan of attack to getting rid of that debt. And sometimes when it comes to paying debt, it can just be like depressing, stressful, not motivated, because all you're doing is putting your extra income towards debt. So if you choose to reward yourself, you have to make sure that it makes sense and it's within reason, so that it doesn't impact the goals that you have set yourself when it comes to you becoming debt-free. Component number 5 is to build real wealth. And this is investing, essentially you putting your money to work for you. You're the boss here, your money, they're the employees, and it's you telling them what to do by putting them to work. And so the first thing you want to do here is learn how investing works, right? What investing strategies are you comfortable with? What are your objectives? What is your risk tolerance? Having all this information and understanding these things will help you be a better investor and help you make better informed decisions. And when you can make informed decisions, you in turn minimize your risk and you allow yourself to sleep well at night. Once you've learned how investing works, then you also want to create a plan to invest. And like I mentioned, it's all about understanding your objectives. So what are you investing for? What is your timeline? When are you going to need this money? And when you have that in place, you can create a plan for you to invest in order to meet those goals. Keep in mind that investing is for the long term. If you think you're going to try to time the market or play the buy and sell game because of what you're hearing on the news, you're going to lose out big time. So when you think about building long-term real wealth, don't think about timing the market. Instead, focus on investing for the long term in a way that you're comfortable. And then finally, when it comes to building real wealth, a really key component here is making sure that you have an estate plan, right? This is essentially what your plan is for your money when you are no longer here. And this is also another way in which you can transition generational wealth. So I highly recommend that when you get to the point where you're able to create an estate plan, you talk to an estate planning professional. And keep in mind that you do not have to be rich or balling out of control to create an estate plan. You can create an estate plan on any income. It's all about getting informed and understanding what it is that you need for yourself. And the final component of the Clever Girl Finance Roadmap is to plan for the necessary. And this means having the right type of insurance in place, from auto insurance to health insurance to life insurance to disability and even pet insurance. It's really important because insurance is essentially your backup plan, right? If something happens, like you're in an auto accident or you have a health issue, God forbid, this can completely derail your finances and throw you into debt if you're not prepared with the right insurance. So insurance is really key. It's the bow on this beautiful package that you're creating for your future self. Another part of planning for the necessary is making sure that you focus on building and maintaining your credit. So credit is something that we all have to leverage when it comes to purchasing homes. Many companies, employers will look at your credit before they hire you. If you're trying to rent, many landlords will look at your credit. There's so many ways in which your credit ties into your life. And so it's important that you understand what's going on your credit report and that you have a focus on monitoring it and also rebuilding it if it needs some work. And then finally, as part of planning for the necessary, I am a strong believer of creating as many streams of income as possible. The wealthiest people in the world have at least 7 streams of income. And so this way you have a backup plan if you lose your job, if the stock market is not doing that great, if the real estate market is not doing that great, or if your business is not doing that great, because all these things happen, business, the stock market, employment all goes in seasons. And so you want to make sure that you have different sources of income coming in. That way you have a buffer if one source of income starts to wane. So start thinking about different ways in which you can increase your income and create multiple sources. And don't get overwhelmed by trying to create 7 streams or 20 streams all at once. Start with one. And when you get comfortable with that one, then add on another and work it that way so it's easier for you to approach it. So if you have found this roadmap overview useful, I'd love for you to head over to clevergirlfinance.com and get your own free copy of the Clever Girl Finance Roadmap. It is a detailed step-by-step strategic and actionable guide to help you as you work on creating your own plan and strategy to pay off your debt, save money, and build real wealth. And if you have loved watching this video, subscribe to this channel so you get notified every time we drop a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.